Hi, I'm referee Bob.
Hi, I'm referee Sid.
And this is Power Play.
Power Play.
Just to remind you, this is the best estimation of Sid and I's reading through the rules a few times.
If you have any questions about the game, please post in the Q&A for GDC to respond back for clarification.
We're going to talk about where the robot needs to be set up for this year's game. Basically, it's got to be within two tiles, the one here and the one that's over there. Touch the wall is in last year, and your robot can be in orientation as long as it's completely within the two tiles on your side of the Alliance station.
What are the game elements? This a signal here held by Bob is supplied by the tournament, and the team is able to make their own.
So this will be a tournament supplied signal, which will be used for the autonomous randomization. It's got the 3 different spots on it, you can see, and then teams can make their own sleeves. This is an opened up one that's out there, and this is one that's put together. And if you go to Game Manual Part 1, there'll be more details, including a template that you'll need to download to print that out to bring it. And make sure you bring extras to the match in case yours gets damaged.
And just note that you have to have your team number pre-printed. After the field is set, the personnel are going to randomize the field, which will establish the zone where the robots are going to navigate for bonus points. In a driver control period, the human player places the cone in the substation from the substation storage one at a time, and the robots will continue to place them in the junction or secure junctions, and they can also go and get cones from the stack.
So in endgame, you can continue to score cones onto the various junctions. You can place yours over the other team's color if they're already there. Whoever has the last one on the top will own that junction at the end. You can also get a team-supplied beacon that will be put into the substation by the human player, and then you can cap any of the junctions. Once you do that, you completely own it. Remember, for this year, you do have to have one that is primarily blue and one that is primarily red. And then the last thing you can do is you can navigate into either of your terminals, and then by owning the junctions, you want to try to make a circuit between the terminal on this side of the field along with the one across the opposite corner. Your robot has to be starting in one of the 2 tiles. If you look at the diagram in the manual, it'll show you it's tile 2 and tile 5 on each side. It shows you which one, but it has to be completely within the tile, which means it has to be within inside the teeth, and it has to be touching the walls and past. Robot is currently set up in a legal position to do that. I could also turn it this direction and do some other things, turn around the other way if I wanted to. However, you don't want it being like this where it's into that part of the other tile there, or be over here and be into the scoring zone in the terminal. And then lastly, if you want to put your team sleeve onto the signal cone there, your signal sleeve, you can go ahead and put that on there so you can try to get the bonus points for the randomization task.
The teams also have an option of pre-match setup. The teams have the option of preloading a cone, which should be either in possession of the robot itself or just touching the robot, just as in previous seasons.
So once the driver control period starts, the human player can start putting cones out of the substation storage into the substation. You need to place them in one at a time. However, you can put multiple cones in here at any given time. They can be in any orientation if you want to set them like that, or if you want to drop them in there, that's okay. The only thing you can't do is propel them out onto the playing field.
With the robots in the substation, the human player is not allowed to place the cones, and vice versa. When the human player is placing the cone, a robot cannot move in to pick up any of the cones. When a blue robot is traversing around the field, if they get to the stack and if they knock over their own blue stack of cones, there are no penalties associated with that. But if they knock over the opposing alliance cones, there are potential for 5 minors if the stack is 5 tall. So one of the things in the driver control period is the signals can be herded or plowed to a safe location, but no control is allowed. Control of the signals, because these have no value, no score value. Autonomous interference, if your robot is interfering with the opposing alliance's scoring, then there's the interference penalty. That's a major. Descoring of cones from the junctions or terminal, that's also a major penalty this season.
Also, you can't block scoring attempts at the junctions or the terminal of either of the other alliance. That is also a major penalty. You can also not block access to the opposing alliance's substation as well.
There's also a component of blocking access to the terminals or the junctions, that gets added on every 5 seconds. There is a G28 that comes into play.
And lastly, you cannot descore the other team's beacon. That again will be a major penalty if you do that as well. Please read the rules and understand it more so you can understand the ins and outs of those major penalties and how you can avoid getting them.
And keep on top of the Q&A.
Well, teams, that was a quick overview of the rules, a little more details than are in the animation. Hopefully this will help you understand the game so you can plan your strategy and your robot designs to maximize your scoring, et cetera, in the game this year. Good luck to you all, and I look forward to hoping seeing some of you at an event real soon.
Yeah, good luck to all the teams. Thank you.